Euro Fantasy completed it, mate. Every single player here is nailed. Every single player here has a very high potential. There's no DM stinking the gaff out, alright? There's no risky business. And this is my final Euros team to win it all. First in the world, here we go. We're with my chip strategy of using the Limitless in Matchday 3, and we get unlimited transfers for the knockout stages. We just care about the first two fixtures. So with that, this is the team I'm going for. In goals, the most important thing is having two playing goalkeepers that also play on different days. With Verbruggen playing on the 16th in Matchday 1 and the 21st in Matchday 2. Costa might be costing a lot, but plays on the 18th in Matchday 1 and the 22nd in Matchday 2, so 2 different days. And also, Verbruggen is the best 4.5 million goalkeeper with a hard fixture in Matchday 2, but if he does get a clean sheet there, he's going to get all the points. But he can potentially get some high points in either of those games, and if he doesn't, no problem. Costa comes in after him, who's arguably the best goalkeeper in the game, as our safety blanket to secure the points if Verbruggen doesn't. Lovely stuff. All of our defenders are very attacking, and then there's FaZe and Tar, but there we are. Where Cancelo is a must with those two fixtures and also basically a winger, so we'll let him do what he does. DiMarco takes the set pieces and does his thing for Italy, who have a very favourable Matchday 1 fixture. Maxi Mitt is a starting fullback, attacking fullback for Germany with two very sexy fixtures, and also it plays for Germany, which coincidentally are not only such a good defence that you should have some of their attackers, they're so good and have two amazing fixtures at start that you need double. You just do. And I say thanks to this guy, I could say Tar, to Jonathan Tar, because he's in my team. And he's only cost 4.5 million, and Maxi Mitt cost 4 million. Bargain of the century. And then Wout FaZe, Wout, fair enough. I mean, yes, a centre-back for Belgium isn't, can be a bit wibbly-wobbly. But then again, two very favourable fixtures, so he definitely has the clean sheet potential. And again, only cost 4 million. Lovely. I do like the look of De Cupia for Belgium, the attacking fullback, who now looks like he's going to be starting to play. But in Matchday 2, Portugal and Belgium play on the same day. So that means if you've got like 3 Portugal or even 2 Portugal like most people do, and then you probably also have 2 or 3 Belgium as well, that means you're potentially subbing on 5 or 6 players in one sub opportunity window, which is the complete least optimal thing you can do to actually utilize the whole subsystem in this fantasy. So I would recommend only having at maximum 4, maybe 5 Belgium and Portugal players just for that if you're not using any chips in Matchday 2. So that when all the other players get all the points or blank, you're not subbing in all of the players all at once and potentially not fully utilizing your entire squad. If you have no idea what I mean, then unlucky. But essentially, it means I only want 2 Belgian players and 2 Portugal attackers because, the goalkeeper, I can't really sub him up front, so he doesn't really matter. But you want to have all of your players playing on different days enough so that you can sub them in bit by bit so you don't potentially have all of the blankers all at once. If a player playing the day before, you don't think he's going to blank. If Mbappe blanks, you're like, oh, I can sub in Lukaku the next day, that's fine. But if they're all playing on the same day, then you get blanks. You can't do anything about it. It's a big boy and like A. Then in midfield, we've got some very juicy attacking players who are not only super attacking, but they are all also on the set pieces for their teams too. Gundog could be on penalties. Xavi Simons, absolute baller, hasn't quite done it on the international stage and does have a hard Matchday 2 fixture, but which is exactly why I think a lot of people won't be looking at him, but that Matchday 1 fixture is definitely sexy enough to target. Shaqiri, yes, MLS merchant, like why is he even in your squad? But he's on all of the set pieces, penalties, corners, free kicks, the lot. And also has 2 very good fixtures, so absolute bargain. Sudakov, the creative beast for Ukraine that nobody's heard of. I mean, I didn't even hear of him before this tournament, but here we are. He's in my starting team, playing Romania and Slovakia first, so hopefully he won't be slack in there. And Bruno Fernandes, I mean, he doesn't need introduction. Usually a penalty merchant, but for Portugal, proper baller. 2 very good fixtures at first, playing in a Portugal team that are pretty good. That is a very juicy midfield. And then up front, we literally have the best forwards in the game. My last draft didn't have Kane, and I had Saka instead, and I had De Bruyne instead of that. But then I soon realised, wait, hang on. This forward 3 could literally outscore the entire rest of your team. Do you really want to be going in to a Euro Fantasy game without any of those 3 boys up there? I mean, either of them, any one of them could go and score 10 goals this tournament. And you're saying you want to actually choose a Ukraine striker or Havertz instead. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Lukaku scored all of the goals in the qualifiers and was the top scorer, and has 2 very good fixtures at first. He's got to be in. Harry Kane, he's Harry Kane. He's also got 2 good fixtures as well. I say 2. Yes, he has 3, but again, limitless matchday 3, so I'm not looking at that. And then Mbappe, yeah, he's all right. He's okay. His fixtures aren't great, and, you know, France, yeah, they're really going to struggle in those games, aren't they? No, don't pick him. Never mind, he's 70% owned. You'll die if you don't. There we are. But that right there is the team done. And as you look, we have all of the best fixtures, not just Matchday 1, but also Matchday 2. Matchday 1 does have the better fixtures than Matchday 2, so that's why I'm slightly focusing more on the Matchday 1 fixtures, with the likes of a Xavi Simons, a Shaqiri, a Sudakov, and all of that. And also Triple Germany, you know, not bad. But also for the fact that we're only going to have this team for 2 weeks, then it doesn't really matter too much, like, where the money's spent, who we're missing and all that. We just focus on the best players we can get right in front of us right now, and that's what I'm doing. And as you see as well, most of the players all play on different days. In Matchday 1, all of my Portugal guys are the only ones playing on the last physical day, so I'll sub them in last. And then in Matchday 2, like I said, Belgium and Portugal play on the same day, so we'll sub them on, unfortunately, all at once. But with how good a Lukaku, a Bruno, a Cancelo, FaZe are, then hopefully they're just going to get all the points. It doesn't matter anyway, doesn't it? Lovely. Now, if I go to the physical days within the match day, you can see what captain options I have for each day. So the first physical day, we got any Germany player. So I've got the Gundog, I got a Tar, I got a Maximet. So a Gundog captain, probably. If I need to roll a captain, as we might have to do in any of these match days in this fantasy game, we do have a DeMarco against Albania, a very nice fixture, or even a Shaqiri there. We then have a Harold Kane against Serbia, very tasty backup. We then have a Lukaku versus Slovakia. I mean, they get better and better as they go, which is actually a good thing. You know, if Kane somehow doesn't score, and then you've got a Lukaku as a backup captain, that's not bad, is it? Or Mbappe, you know, sorry. And then we've even got a Bruno Fernandes or a Cancelo on the last day there. So 5 very sexy captain options match day 1. Then in match day 2, very similar. We've got a Gundog, and that again here for the Germany. We've got a Kane again against Denmark, not too good, but still, you know, a good option. We then again have the Mbappe and that here, or maybe even a Xavi Simons. Spoiler, we probably won't have him for match day 2. And then the last day we have the Lukaku against Romania, which we'll probably prefer over someone like a Bruno Fernandes against Turkey. But again, not quite as many good options in match day 1, but definitely enough to cover at least one captaincy haul. Now, what I like to do with my captain is, as you have less and less captain options to go to, then you start lowering your expectations of what you can actually be happy with. Where if your captain for the first physical day gets around 10 points, you'll be happy with that. But if he does get about 6 or 7, then you're like, yeah, maybe I can roll. But then if it's the second last physical day and your captain gets 6 or 7 points, then no, definitely don't roll that. Keep that. Because at the end of the day, as long as your captain gets points, it doesn't have to be a mega haul. If it is, great. But me personally, as long as I got a haul, I am pretty much happy with that. So yes, this would be the team for match day 1. I have all my players playing last on the bench, ready to sub in right at the end. And all the players with the best fixtures ready to go. First fixtures up first, of course. We have got the Gundog captain right now as hopefully my highest scoring Germany player out of them all. I mean, they could all score all of the points. What's Jonathan Tah, bullet header? You never know. And then going into match day 2, I'm pretty happy with everybody in my squad. Everybody has a decent 2 fixtures, apart from Xavi Simons. So, transfer plan, already going into match day 1 with a transfer plan. Usually not a good idea, but because we're going to be only having this team for 2 weeks, it doesn't matter too much. And we do only get 2 free transfers, so Xavi Simons will be going out, unless I fancy him against France. Maybe I do. I won't. But we could go for anyone, somebody like Croatia against Albania or anybody else, maybe even a double up or somebody we already got for another team. But either way, we've got options and we are ready to target all the fixtures to get off to a great start and then use that wildcard in the knockout stages when everybody has lost all their players. Some, you know, a random team getting eliminated you weren't expecting. And that is that. So that is that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you all do bad, because then that means I do better in the Euro Fantasy game, because that's how the fancy games works. Thanks for watching. Don't steal my team because it's going to win. And bye.
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.